have Kumu. She's also the co-founder of She Talks Asia, Miss Victoria Herrera. Palakpakan naman tayo dyan. Ladies and gentlemen. Joining us next, the head of Globe Business MSME Group, Miss Stella Christine Dizon. Chief Marketing Officer of Grow Sari, Miss Maymay Punzalan. And last but not least, we have with us the Chief Executive Officer and co-founder of Kindred Health Incorporated, Miss Jessica De Mesa. Hello, ladies. Hi. It's so nice to have all of you on stage. My goodness, this is a powerful group of women. And I'm going to be honest. Okay, I have to say I'm not very entrepreneurial. You know, I'm not exactly the most tech-savvy person. So of everyone here, I'm really like here to learn and listen to your stories and draw inspiration from the journey that you have been on in your respective platforms and companies. So I think maybe, I think we're all familiar with your companies and platforms, but just for the record, maybe we can start by each of you introducing your company and what do you do? Maybe we can start with you, Angie.
Hi, thank you so much, Dan. So Angkas is a motorcycle taxi service where we do point-to-point. You can book from your home, from your office, and it brings you from one place to another in fast and reliable way. We have over 30,000 bikers and over 7 million downloads. And I think the company is really committed to safety and professionalism for everyone out there.
Fantastic. Vicky?
Hi, Sam.
Hi.
Just like you, I was also not tech savvy
Really?
before I
I
joined.
find that hard to believe. Talaga?
I was not in this industry before I started.
Wow.
But I joined the team early on. So Kumu is a live stream platform here in the Philippines, built by Filipinos for Filipinos. In the span of 5 years, we were able to reach over 55 countries because, Filipinos are global. And we were able to get over 50 million downloads. It's been such an adventure learning and absorbing the amazing knowledge from being a startup, and I'm happy to just share whatever I learned in this little adventure.
Yeah, and you also have your advocacy, which is She Talks Asia, right? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So I also have my advocacy. It's called She Talks Asia, and what we do is we bring women together on stage similar to this, and we really talk about real life issues. So we've covered everything from body image, loving your body, mental health, self-love, self-worth, all of those topics that we feel, women do talk about, but we want to bring it to a global stage so that we can share our lessons and our wisdom to each other.
I feel like parang it's like they work together. Yeah, it's like a sisterhood between your platforms. Yeah.
Everyone, I'm going to invite you.
Okay, we'll discuss later. Okay. Miss Stella, of course, the Globe MSME Group, right? Tell us about, what you do.
Well, so hi Sam, thank you, and good afternoon to everyone in the audience. So my nickname is KD.
Then we call you Katie.
Please call me KD.
Okay,
my mom calls me Stella when she's angry. So my name is KD Dizon. So I take care of the MSME Group in Globe Business. So, and I'm actually super honored to be here with these ladies. You guys are such inspirational ladies, and I am also not very entrepreneurial. So because, I'm in a corporation that's Globe, and I think, Globe is something I guess a lot of people would be familiar with. Maybe not Globe Business for MSMEs, because this is really the arm of Globe that is here to empower the MSMEs or the Filipino entrepreneurs. We've made it our mission to really bring digital transformation to them so it helps them not just survive but to thrive as well. And that's what I do on a day-to-day basis, but I think that's actually one of the most inspiring jobs within Globe because we take care of the backbone of our industry and so many inspiring stories from Filipino MSMEs, and I'm excited to hear everyone's story here today.
Yeah, and I think all of our entrepreneurs here are so excited to have something like Globe, business with the MSME Group. You have become such a strong partner for our MSMEs and all the services that Globe provides. Like, I mean, it's it's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you so much for being with us. Yeah. My, hi. Who I've known since high school, guys. And, yeah, oh my gosh, it's so good to see you again on stage.
Yes.
Yeah, to talk about this.
Yeah, so I actually also am not tech savvy. I came largely from Procter and Gamble and J&J, so FMCG companies. And I realized that who we were really trying to serve were a lot of the underserved. And so I joined Grocery. Grocery is a B2B e-commerce platform. So unlike e-commerce platforms that serves the regular consumers, we actually serve the sari store owners. And there are about 1 million sari store owners out there. And they are basically running their business as an extension of their home. And we realized that they did not have access to affordable goods. It was very inconvenient for them to have to go and probably take a tricycle to the nearest supermarket and buy their goods at end consumer prices, and therefore not be able to maximize the profit they would make from their business. And so Grocery is really there. We provide them a bunch of SKUs. We have 700 plus SKUs they can order. We deliver it to them for free.
For free?
Yes, for free. And with very little minimum order of just 500 pesos.
Oh, abot kayang
Abot kaya. And what's amazing is that, we've been able to demonstrate that a lot of these traditional stores are now able to adapt to digitalization, ordering through an app, and availing of all the other business they can do through the app, like telco, and all their cash-ins, bills payments. They become mini bayad centers as well for their own community.
That is amazing. And I love the name, Grocery. Oh, it's the cutest thing. Oh my gosh.
It's a grocery. It's
Yeah!
grocery.
I'm so tickled by it. Okay. And Jess. Hi. Kindred Health. Tell us about this.
Well, Kindred is an all-in-one destination for women's health. It's about time that we have clinics that are dedicated to women. And what makes us different from the traditional healthcare setting is we make sure that it's a safe space for women to talk about sexual and reproductive health. And aside from the education piece and increasing awareness around women's health topics, we also provide the services, whether it's virtually or in person. We just launched our first clinic in Taguig, first physical clinic in Taguig a few months ago. in
Congratulations.
December.
Let's give her a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. That's great.
Thank you. And what we're trying to do is to elevate the idea of a doctor's visit because, when you're feeling something, let's say it's PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, or infertility, or any other common health concern of women, it's already scary. So we don't want them to feel intimidated when going to the doctor. We want them to want to see a specialist so they can take better charge of their health. But yeah, like many of you, I didn't start in tech. I was actually formerly a registered nurse. I worked in private and public hospitals and clinics around the Philippines, but I got absorbed into the startup world for the past decade in e-commerce as well. But now I decided to go back to healthcare because there's so many things that needs to be done in the country. That's why we work with DOH and other non-government organizations as well to increase awareness on different reproductive health topics.
Fantastic. It's so encouraging to hear that not all of you really started out in tech. I mean, but it sounds to me like you drew from something that you were already doing at that time, but then you took it digital, right? Okay. My next question, I think you kind of touched on this already a little bit, but I was wondering was there an experience in your life that made you want to address, this thing that your company addresses, or what is it trying to solve? What happened that put you on this path, and how is your company doing that exactly?
Yeah, so I think in my previous job, we always tried to sell products to sari store owners. And we were trying to tell them that, hey, this is good value for you. And in that experience, we realized that they don't quite understand exactly how they make money. they didn't quite understand what profit really meant versus daily sales. And so the company went about, okay, maybe we need to give them some digital ledger, like a POS that could solve it. But then as we went through it, we realized, no, that wasn't the problem. The problem was really the access to the goods. So it was just really more of that, just the daily encounters with these store owners and realizing how much help they needed and how much digital tools could really address their problems, as well as really enabling fixing the whole supply chain. To be able to do that, tech would be the solution to drive the efficiencies. So it's not so much that tech is the app. Tech actually is the backbone of the operation itself. And that's where we derive all the efficiencies to solve the problem.
Okay, wow. Angie, what about you? What are you, trying to address and solve, and how is Angkas doing that?
I think for us, we're really just trying to resolve one thing. Right? So when I first came to the Philippines, I could not believe that people were going to work happy after spending 2 to 3 hours in traffic one way.
Angie's from Singapore, by the way, guys. Okay, yeah.
Right? And I think, to me, we really wanted to help people get from one place to another faster. And that was our sole goal. And through time, we realized it's not just about traffic, it's about giving people the freedom of choice to make decisions for themselves. Because whether you realize it or not, traffic ties you to where you want to work, where you want to send your kids to school, who do you want to be friends with, and who you want to date. Right? Just like if this girl lives 10 kilometers away from you, which isn't far,
it's a long distance relationship.
It's a long distance relationship, right? So with Angkas, we wanted to give freedom of choice back to people, for them to make decisions for themselves. Right? And for our bikers, it was really about giving them livelihood. When we first started Angkas, nobody believed that the business was going to work. Right? Because they thought like, drivers at Pasawai, you cannot run this safely. Customers will think it's too dangerous, nobody want to ride. So even my customers who used to ride us 3 times a day or 2 times a day, we were like, can you please tell your friends about this awesome service that you love? And they're like, no, I can't. If I put it on social media, my parents, my grandmother will never let me hear the end of it.
Oh, because they thought it was dangerous, to get on a motorcycle?
Yeah, and badui, dangerous.
Badui?
Yeah, badui as well, right? So we really had to change a lot of mindsets. And we've shown that with our professional drivers. I fail 70% of all my applicants. Yeah, because I really want to make sure that the drivers we put on the roads are professional and safe, and they can treat their customers well. So I think with that's how we started the service, and through time we've been able to prove to the different stakeholders and communities that Angkas is very safe. We're here to stay, and we want to build communities to support Filipinos, to support their families, and to become stronger as a country.
Wow, and that's so insightful, because really when you think about, a transportation, ride-hailing app or whatever, you really just think of it as getting from point A to point B, but there are really a lot more underlying, deeper
Yes, it's all about the people, right? So my bikers, they love to do CSR. They love to do community service. So we support them to, give books to kids in rural communities. When there's typhoon, they'll help to do classroom cleanups. That's them giving back to society as well. From before, people had such bad impressions of motorcycle drivers, but I can say with my personal experience, they're just decent human beings who want to do good for society and for their families.
Yeah, my goodness. Seeing them in yes, round of applause, thank you.
Thank you guys.
Yeah. Vicky, tell us about,